The nursing home was my worst nightmare, guys. It was like, oh my god, my highest sick days was on that specific placement. I like things fast-paced. I like to blink my eye and then it's home time. I don't want to come onto the wall and see the same patient for the next 6 weeks, like a long stay patient. The patient has been there for the last 3 months and you're thinking, is there a discharge plan in place? What? That's just me. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me once again back onto my channel. My name is Belinda, and if you've not already subscribed, please go ahead and press the subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload. This is a nursing based channel, so all things nursing. Once again, as you read from the title of this video, I am back again with another nursing video, and today I am going to be discussing my best and my worst placement. I think because it's that time where I am coming to the end of my journey. And I'm basically doing some sort of reflection for the university, because the university requires us to do some sort of reflection to reflect back on everything that we've learned over the 3 years. So I just thought, just for video inspiration, let me try and do this. So for those who don't know, I am third year nursing student, adult nursing specifically. I also did mental health nursing in my first year, but I transferred from mental health nursing to adult nursing, and then I did adult nursing up to today. So I am currently in my first placement, third year, and end of April I'm starting my management placement and wrapping it up. So I just thought, since I've got quite of an experience and I had various placements, I thought to myself, I'm going to talk about my best as well as my worst placement experience. So first things first, let me try and tell you guys the kind of placements that I had. So first year, as I mentioned before, I was doing mental health. So my very first placement was the GP surgery. Thereafter, it was mental health hospital or psychiatric hospital, whichever one you want to call it. Thereafter, it was a nursing home. Second year, I had surgical, and then I had respiratory, and then third year, at this moment, I'm doing cardiology, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I get A&E as my final placement. So in regards to my placement, the best of the best of the best placements I've had so far was GP surgery. I think I've mentioned this in various videos. If you've ever watched my other videos, guys, I'm not cut out for ward placements, okay? I'm not cut out to work on the ward. That is not me. I am more cut out to work in the GP surgery, guys. Oh, I can't deal. If I had a choice to go back to that placement, I would certainly take it 100%. The fact of the matter is, I love the time, or rather the hours. It's not a 12-hour shift. So I feel like when you're placed on the wards, the hours are a bit too long. However, there is pros and cons to it, if you understand what I'm saying. A GP surgery, although the hours are shorter, you are in more. Maybe 5 times a week, whereas working on the ward is 12-hour shift or 12.5 hours. So you're only basically in there for 3 days a week, so you basically get 4 days off. However, with GP surgery, there's no nights obviously, and there's no weekend, so that once again is another bonus. And also for me personally, I enjoy GP surgery because you don't feel tired as such. Now when I say tired, obviously it's a different kind of tired, because the hours are shorter, your concentration level is more consistent from the beginning of the shift to the very end. Secondly, you're not running around like a headless chicken, so that's one thing I like. Also the fact that you've become familiar with the patients, because normally if you are working in GP surgery, it's mostly the same patients that come over and over again, you know, registered patients. So there's also some sort of consistency in care, if that makes any sense. So that was really, to be honest with you, that was one of the best placements. And also the staff, they were so nice. It actually makes a lot of difference if the staff are very nice towards you as a student, you know, because it makes the environment very positive and relaxed. Not relaxed as in such of, you know, you can do what you want, but you know, it takes that sort of burden and stressfulness off your shoulders. Thereafter, I had my next placement in a mental health hospital. Now, my mentor, she was absolutely lovely. I had a couple of staff that were nice, very nice. Some of them weren't so nice, but hey ho, who cares? But it was that very specific placement that I decided that, you know what, mental health nursing is not for me. It was very slow paced. I know there's probably different wards that are more faster and more things happening, but the ward I was on, it was very slow paced. I mean, like the 12-hour shifts felt like 24-hour shift, and there was a lot of talking going on with the patients, finding out what they're feeling, what they're going through, and so on and so forth. And for me personally, that was just not working, if that makes any sense. Because I think you have to have a certain level of tolerance as well as a certain level of patience. And unfortunately, as bad as it sounds, I don't have the patience for that. I like things fast paced. I like to blink my eye and then it's home time. I also didn't feel like I could broaden out my skills as such. I know many people are going to probably come for me, because I know people were commenting on my previous video where I did transferring from mental health nursing to adult nursing. People were commenting to say that actually mental health nurses do everything the same as adult nursing. Unfortunately, I have to agree on that aspect. Which one is harder, which one is easier? I think they're equal, just as hard in different ways. I think actually, to be honest with you, I don't really want to compare the two, but they have a different level of stress, if that makes any sense. So like I said, that was a specific placement that made me decide that mental health nursing was not for me. And if they weren't going to allow me to change over from mental health nursing to adult nursing, I was just going to do a top up of adult nursing and branch out into that. Either way, I'm very happy I've gotten the experience of doing mental health nursing, and obviously it's going to appear on my transcript for the time period that I did do mental health nursing. So in a way, that's good for me. So yeah, that was that. I didn't feel like I've learned anything. Well, probably I did learn something. Oh yeah, I learned how to do care planning. Care planning was the most like vital thing in there. So I got to learn that side. To be honest with you, I feel like in my first year I've had good as well as bad placements. And thereafter, like I said, my third placement on my first year was a nursing home. Up to today, I still don't understand why are universities placing students in a nursing home for clinical placement. Why? The nursing home was my worst nightmare, guys. It was like, oh my god. It was one of those placements that when you woke up in the morning, you're thinking to yourself, should I go, should I not go, should I go, should I not go? And as bad as it may sound right now, my highest sick days was on that specific placement. First, prior to me obviously starting placements, I normally have a look at my learning outcomes, and then I know what I'm working towards, if that makes any sense. So the first day of nursing home, I just tried to get a hand of everything. So I didn't have no induction, no introduction to the staff as well as the residents. I got to know the home manager. I came to see him a couple of days prior to me starting my placement. Thereafter, I got to know my mentor. I like my mentor a lot, bless her. I think she was just not in the right environment. You know, some people, you get them, they're very nice, they're just not in the right environment to work in. And I feel like all the care staff, because they're already in some sort of a routine, they already know how they work. I get it, because me, myself and I, when I work in a nursing home, I normally like to work with somebody who knows how we do things, how we work. Because the thing is, when you work with somebody for quite some time, you know already the way they work. So everybody else was already paired up with whoever they needed to pair up, and I was just a third wheel. So obviously second day came and I spoke to my mentor in regards to obviously not being able to obtain certain learning outcomes in the care home. And she said to me, oh, okay, then if that's the case, can you please raise that issue with the manager? So I went ahead to the manager, she was there with me, and I said to him, obviously I have certain learning outcomes that I feel like I'm not going to be able to fulfill or obtain in this care home. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just a student raising my opinion in regards to that. And he flipped because he said, we've had students before, blah 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 blah. The thing is, that nursing home has students before from Northampton University. They've never had a student before from De Montfort University. So now what he didn't get at that point in time, my learning outcomes from De Montfort University is not the same as learning outcomes from Northampton University. So whatever experience he had with students from Northampton University, that's his business. However, this is a different student from a different university with different learning outcomes, but he didn't seem to grasp that. Anyway, thereafter he got quite I agree. And he says, what is your problem actually? It seems like you don't want to be here, you know. Actually, I think we have to draw up an action plan just to protect ourselves. And I'm thinking, listen, I had first place and second placement. Not once have I had an action plan. Me coming to you as a student, obviously, mentioning I'm a bit of concern about not being able to obtain learning outcomes. Are there any other sister homes around the area that I can go to in order to obtain these learning outcomes, even if it's for one day only? Because even in a hospital setting, sometimes if they feel that these learning outcomes, you can't achieve them on this very specific ward, they will try and send you to other wards that you can achieve your learning outcomes. And basically, as a student, that is your responsibility to make sure that you fulfill those learning outcomes. The mentors and the nurses don't care whether you fulfill them or not. If you haven't fulfilled them, you need to be able to create that opportunity. You need to be able to be observant and have your own initiative to be able to look around and see where you can obtain these learning opportunities. Anyway, cutting a long story short, I was just thinking to myself, thank God the 7 weeks were over. But the number of time I have been calling in sick, it was crazy. It was one of those things that majority of the people working there, they were all from obviously the same country, and when they were together, they were all speaking their language. And I was just basically standing there not knowing what they're saying. I think it's actually quite rude. Like, don't get me wrong, if I wasn't there and they would speak their language, quite frankly, you couldn't care less, do you understand? But when you were there around and they're all speaking the same language and you are standing there like an idiot, it's quite frustrating, and I feel like it's very, very ignorant. You know, with the nursing home, I didn't like it as well, because I feel like with nursing home, it becomes so repetitive. I mean, like, you come there, it's the same people, same routine, same everything over and over again, you know. And if you're doing placement there for quite some time, you know, it comes to the point where you actually can do everything with your eyes shut. And I don't like that, you know. I like to come into a place and keep on learning different things every single day. So that was my experience in regards to that. Like I said, I had my surgical placement as well as my respiratory placement. Surgical placement was a big transitioning. So because first year, like I said, I didn't have that sort of knowledge of adult nursing because I was doing mental health nursing. So I was getting in the hang of the things I've done in mental health. So with the surgical, I had a very lovely mentor. I told her I just came from mental health nursing to adult nursing, and she gave me that support of transitioning. The ward manager, she was quite abrupt and rude. She was the rudest ward manager that I've ever encountered in my whole time period of placement. She was very abrupt. The way she spoke to you, the way she addressed you, there was no how are you, you know, simple etiquette. There was no such thing. When I saw that she looked down on the staff and even the staff members were complaining about her, I thought to myself, who the hell am I? I'm just a student here. You know what I mean? So at that time, I think they changed it. They stopped calling it mentors. They transitioned it into practice supervisors and practice assessors. They were very relaxed. You know, I learned what I needed to learn, and that was that. It was not my favorite placement, not because of anything, just because I don't really like surgical ENT, if that makes any sense. So my next placement in my second year, I basically had it on a respiratory ward. So overall, the speciality doesn't really baffle me, doesn't really excite me as such. It was quite, gosh, what did I learn? Did I learn anything? All I know is there was loads of people on oxygen. It was respiratory / COVID. I didn't really like it, not because mainly it was COVID. I just didn't like it because, you know, the thing is, you will know when you go on different placements over the years, what placements are more suitable to you and what placements are not. To be honest with you, I actually liked the staff on the ward. They were very nice people. They all got along and they were all chilled. Nobody was backstabbing anybody. I think one thing about in working environment, if you get to a point where people are backstabbing each other, I think it's actually time for me to leave, if that makes any sense. So right now I am cardiology. I've got literally 3 more weeks left before I finish. Cardiology, it's not for me. I know many people are like, wow, what is for you? No, to be honest, with cardiology, I am learning quite a lot that I didn't know about, and I like the fact that my mentor, she's so eager to teach, you know, and I think it makes also a difference. They are very happy with my progress. I haven't had any complaints as yet in regards to me, because I go in there and I get involved with the team and all. Yeah, so basically I'm just carrying you guys through from my placement experience that I had, and also the learning opportunities that I got. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I've learned a little bit of everything from every placement, which is how it should be. But as I'm in my 3rd year, I got to see more of what kind of person I am and where my personality would fit in. And like I said, up to this very day, I'm happy that I picked A&E as my first nursing job once I qualified, because it is more of me. If I see your face more than 3 times, it's a problem. That's just me. Because that means we're becoming too used to each other. It's called familiarity. I don't like that at all. I am more of a person of, hiya, you're right. What's your problem? What are you suffering with? Past medical history, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think you were going to this ward. Off you go. And so on and so forth. That is the kind of person that I am. That is basically what I like to do. That is a personal preference. You guys like what you like, but I'm telling you guys, that's not what I like. So yes guys, this is basically all my placement experience. I think I didn't have it bad. I haven't had any action plan yet. To be honest with you, it was quite surprising, because I have heard student stories, and every time when you're in a situation, you always think that your situation is worse until you hear somebody else's story and you're thinking, really? Then you realize that your situation is actually not that bad. So yes guys, this brings me to the end of my video. I really hope you like this video guys. This was just a basic talk through about my clinical placement that I've had so far, obviously throughout the 3-year period, and I will obviously catch up with you guys in my very next video. Please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Bye.